Hey guys, I hope y'all had a wonderful weekend. I know I did. Well, have you been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes? Are you scared? Are you concerned? Do you feel lost? Well, guys, I have a roadmap for you that will help you find your way back to health. Stay with me. Hey guys, my name is Susan and welcome to my channel. I have been living a ketogenic lifestyle for over a year and a half. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2022. From September to December, I began keto and I got my A1C from a 12.6 to a 4.9. And then I was so excited about that. I wanted to see how much further I could go. So I went from keto to carnivore, and my A1C went from a 4.9 to a 4.5. So, guys, if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You guys already know you are my friends. And this video is going to be your roadmap on how you too can get back to good health. And do me a favor, guys, I don't ask very often. This video can help so many people, but I need you to share it wherever you can, all right, so it can get out there to the masses. Thank you so much. All right, so I have to start with a disclaimer. Guys, I am not a doctor. I will never be able to tell you if you should stop taking medication or if you should take any kind of medication. I'm not authorized to do that. What this video is for is to tell you how I reversed my type 2 diabetes and how I am very confident that you can also reverse your type 2 diabetes as well. But always consult with your doctor with any dietary changes. And guys, as a type 2 diabetic, if you are on any kind of medication that lowers your blood sugar, such as insulin, please, please be mindful of your blood sugar, because as you make these changes listed in this video, you're going to need less and less of your medicine. And if you're taking that insulin and you keep taking the same amount that you're used to taking, but you're making these dietary changes, you can put yourself into a hypo. Okay, so always include your doctor on your lifestyle changes, because remember, the medication you currently take is based on your current lifestyle. When you make the change, your medication needs will change as well. All right, let's get to it. All right, so you've just been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and you don't know what to do. All you know is your doctor told you you were diabetic, probably threw some medication at you and said, good luck. At least that's how it went with my doctor. She didn't even tell me one of the most important things that a type 2 diabetic needs to know, and that's their GPS. Well, not really, but hey, it's this. It's a glucose monitor, and these are very important. Very valuable information can be gleaned from these things, even if you're not a diabetic. But guys, make sure that you have one of these and the lancet to go with it. All right. Now, there are CGMs out there. Some people say they're very accurate. I've had people tell me that they've had trouble with the accuracy. I like the old school, if you will, glucose monitor like that. And don't be afraid, guys, because look, when I take my blood sugar, I always do it in the palm of my hand. Look, I rest my hand on my keyboard table and it puts that little mark on there. But anyways, I always take it right there and it don't hurt at all. I don't do it in my fingertips where it's a little bit more sensitive to. But if you really want to do it in your fingertips, just do it on the sides and not directly on the top, okay? And for those of you who might be concerned about the accuracy, I can tell you this. I took a whole month's worth of blood checks and averaged out what my A1C should have been according to my calculations, and it was a 4.7. When I went to had a lab done that December, it was a 4.9. So I was 0.2 off. That's very accurate, guys. So it's okay if you take your blood sugar to the side palm of your hand. It won't hurt as much. But anyways, so this is really important and a part of how you're going to reverse your diabetes. Because guess what? You're going to find so much varying information out there. And you're going to probably think, well, how do I know who's telling me the truth? How do I know, Susan, that you're telling me the truth? Well, guess what, guys? We can put that question to bed, because this right here is going to tell you the truth. When you eat your food, right before you eat, you're going to take your blood sugar, okay? and I'm going to make up some numbers here. Let's say your blood sugar is 100 before your meal. Okay. You eat your meal, wait an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, and then take it again. And guess what's going to happen? This thing is going to tell you if that meal you ate is good for you or not. It doesn't matter what I say. It doesn't matter what anybody says. This is going to tell you the truth, and that's how you're going to know. And you're going to have that peace of mind on what you should or should not be eating. And I can tell you right now, if your blood sugar is 100 before you eat and it's 200 after, whatever it is you ate is not good for you. Okay. Now you'll have to determine what is too much of a move for you and your blood sugar. I don't personally want to eat something that puts it more than 20 points up. But I'm very, very cautious and very strict. And when you eat a ketogenic lifestyle, you don't typically have to worry about having more than a 20-point rise, unless you're eating more of the dirtier side of things. Then you better be careful about that. But anyways, so that this guys is really important. And it can also help you kind of understand just where you're at in terms of insulin resistance, which is why we're type 2 diabetic. It's because we're so insulin resistant. So when your blood sugar goes up, we have a hard time bringing it back down, not because our pancreas isn't making the insulin. No, we have the opposite problem. Our pancreas is making too much insulin. Therefore, our cells become resistant to it, okay? And so how do you know just how resistant you are? Well, let's say you take your blood sugar an hour and 15 minutes after you eat, and let's say it's now 121, okay? Well, then you're going to wait another 45 minutes at the 2-hour mark since you've had your meal. And you're going to take your blood sugar again. Now, remember, your pre-blood sugar meal was 100. So you take it again at the 2-hour mark. Guys, if it's not 100 or lower, you are insulin resistant. And the further away from that 100 you are, the more resistant you are. Okay, so when you're first starting out, you may see your blood sugar be like 119 after 2 hours of eating. Okay, so that's going to happen, but we're going to get that corrected. All right. All right, so that's the number one thing that you need to do is make sure you have a glucose monitor. And some people might be thinking, well, Susan, that's kind of obvious. Well, guys, my doctor didn't even tell me to do this. She just threw some medicine at me and told me to have a good life. She didn't really say that part, but she might as well have, okay? So I'm telling you, this is a must-have, okay? And anytime you eat something, always check it. Now, once you get in your routine and you have your standard foods that you like to eat, you'll know what they do to you. Like me, I eat mostly hamburger and eggs. I don't have to check it because I know it has very little to no effect on my blood sugar at all. All right, guys. So that is step number 1. Step number 2, time to clean out your pantry and your refrigerator and your freezer. Guys, all the carbs and sugar, all that, your days are done with that, okay? And that may sound really depressing to you, but let this sink into your mind. It's only depressing to you because you have an addiction to carbs and sugar. And no, that's not to be offensive. I'm a carb and sugar addict. I became a type 2 diabetic for a reason as well, okay? Over consuming it. So, guys, if you want to get rid of your diabetes, you have to be serious about this and you're going to have to get them out. Now, I always recommend people to start gradually into a ketogenic lifestyle. And you may be interested in doing the more stricter version like carnivore or lion. But when you're first starting out, I highly recommend easing yourself into it, okay? And that means lowering your carb intake slowly. Think about it, guys. As a standard American diet, we're used to eating what 300, 400, 500 grams of carbs a day. And you might think, oh, no way. No way I'm eating that much. Well, be honest with yourself and go through what you're eating. Include your meals and all the snacks that you're eating and figure out for yourself just how much carbs and sugar your body has been eating on a daily basis. It'll blow your mind, probably. But anyways, start slowly and get your body adjusting because right now your body's used to running on carbs for energy. And if you just yank it away, you're going to have a hard time. It's called keto flu and you're going to feel rough and bad. And some people end up quitting the ketogenic lifestyle because they don't understand that and they feel bad and think, oh, this is horrible. Why would anybody be doing this? Start slow, gradually bring your carbs down, but don't stay there, guys. You are going to have to get to a total carb of 20 or less a day. Some of you might even have to go as low as carnivore, where you have 0 carbs a day. That's what I do. But initially, when I started off, I did keto, non-starchy vegetables and meat. That is what you're going to be eating, okay, guys? And fat. Make sure you eat fat. Don't be scared of that. And that's going to get your blood sugar to come down. So dietary change is the #1 important factor when it comes to getting rid of your diabetes, okay? Total carbs, 20 or less a day. No sugar, no added sugar, and no seed oils in whatever it is you're eating. Guys, I highly recommend when you're going to that grocery store, stay on the outside aisles. Do the whole vegetables if you're going to have vegetables, non-starchy ones, and meat. Okay? If you go into the product aisle, the packaged aisles, you're going to run into seed oils. You're going to run into sugar. And you know what? There's a lot of different names for sugar out there that companies are allowed to put on the packaging that you don't know about. That way, they don't have to say, oh, we have sugar in here. You might not know that dextrose is actually sugar or maltodextrin is actually sugar. Splenda packets, guys, are 90% actual sugar. And companies are allowed to sell that to you as a healthy option. Okay? It's just sugar. It's just trash. All right. So stay away from packaged products. Seed oils are inflammatory. That's why I'm saying stay away from them. And inflammation is a part of the metabolic syndrome that we are sick with as a type 2 diabetic. So once you get the seed oils out, the inflammation in your body will start to go down as well. All right. So that's your dietary change. And you're going to have to stick with that. And, you know, I was super strict, guys. I never strayed from that. And I was able to get my A1C from a 12.6 to a 4.9 in 3 months. And you may be super strict as well. And if you don't get that much of a result in 3 months, don't get discouraged. Everybody's different. Some people, it can take a long time. Okay. So please don't be discouraged on that. But just know this, the stricter you are, the faster your results will be. Okay. But don't go so hard on yourself that you give up. That's the important part, okay? But you've got to get it down there, the carbs. You've got to get it down to 20 or less a day, all right? Step number two is 3. 1 was the glucose monitor. 2 is the dietary change. 3, we're on 3, guys. I can count. 3 is fasting. Fasting is important because it helps lower our insulin level. As I said previously, guys, we are a type 2 diabetic because we're so insulin resistant. It's because we have forced our pancreas to puke its guts out, basically trying to get our blood sugar down, that, we have so much insulin in our bodies that our cells like don't need it anymore. Resistance, it's like taking too much antibiotics. It no longer does its job. We have the insulin, but we're resistant to it. So this is how we're going to correct that. Now, this part will take longer than getting your glucose down, your blood glucose down, okay? So don't think this is going to be a quick turnaround and you're going to go back to eating the same old junk, okay? If you go back to eating the same old junk, your blood sugar is going to go right back up. You're going to become a diabetic again. So this has to be a lifestyle, guys. You need to get that in your mind right now, okay? If you want to get rid of your diabetes, this is a lifestyle and not a temporary diet, okay? All right, so fasting. Fasting is it gives your pancreas a break and it gives your body a chance to use up the insulin that's just floating around in your body, okay? So we're used to eating breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then the vast majority of us is used to eating more like breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack, bedtime, breakfast, snack, and it goes on and on and on. We're basically eating just almost 24/7. The only time we're not is when our eyes are closed and we're in bed, right? Even then, we're probably dreaming about food. But anyways, so our pancreas is constantly having to pump insulin. And it's just tired, guys. it needs a break. So fasting is really important. And so when you are starting off on this diet, you're going to feel really hungry. Again, your gut biome is used to having carbs. It's going to need time to adapt to fat, because the fat is what your body is going to start to learn to use for energy. Okay. But it's going to take some time for your body to switch to that. Okay. So when you're starting your fasting, the best way to get to that fasting where you do only 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. Now, I did 1 meal a day, guys. I was super, super strict. Okay. You don't have to do 1 meal a day. You can do 2 meals a day, but you do need to make sure you're not eating 3 meals, and you're definitely not having no more snacks. Is no longer a thing for you guys. Go ahead and say goodbye to snacking. Those days are over for you. Okay. All right. So this is what you'll do. If you're used to, say, you're having breakfast at 8 a.m., well, you can gradually start to push that back. So if you're used to having at 8 a.m., wait till 9 a.m., then have your breakfast, and then have your lunch, your dinner. Okay. And do that for about a week. And then after that, wait till 10 a.m. to have your breakfast, and on and on and on. And before you know it, your breakfast will have reached lunchtime, and you'll no longer have your breakfast. You'll just have your lunch and your dinner. Okay. Now, if you want to do 1 meal a day, then you'll go from that and you'll start pushing your lunchtime back to 1 o'clock, to 2 o'clock, to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, to whenever you have your dinner. Okay. And eventually, before you know it, you're going to be having 1 meal a day. And this is what's going to blow your mind, because as a high carb eater, you're used to always being hungry. But I'm telling you, when you go to a moderate protein, higher fat meal, you're going to be satiated. 1 meal a day is not hard to do at all, guys. I'm not hungry. I'm not forcing this. I did at the start. I'm not going to lie. I did at the start. I had to force it at the start. But now it's nothing for me to go a whole day and only have 1 meal a day. Okay. It really blows my mind still, even now. Okay. So that is how you're going to start your fasting. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you have to do a week-long fast. No. The fasting I'm talking about is just maybe at 18:6. That'd be 2 meals a day, or 1 meal a day, which would be a 23-hour window of non-eating, and having that 1 hour window to eat. But the important thing is do not eat after, I'd say, 6 p.m. in the evening. And that reason is because you do not want to go to bed when your body is still trying to deal with the food that you had for your dinner. All right. You want to have that already dealt with and done with. So don't eat after 6 p.m. At 6 p.m., lock your kitchen up, turn off the lights. It's done. That's it. Say bye-bye till the next day. Okay. Now, the emails that I'm getting asking how I reverse my diabetes, and the messages I'm getting on Instagram, they're asking questions like, well, do I have to exercise? And I read a lot of comments out there saying, oh, well, I do all this exercise. I got my diabetes took care of. But guys, you can't exercise to lower your blood sugar, because exercise makes our cells accept the insulin in our body. However, that's not the cure. Because if you rely on exercise to get your blood sugar down, you're going to have to exercise 24/7 for the rest of your life. You see what I'm saying? I didn't exercise to reverse my diabetes. Now, I do exercise by walking, and I do a little strength training, but that's to do with my cholesterol and not a diabetes thing. Okay. The whole way to revert if exercise is important for other health reasons. So what I'm about to say is not me to tell you just don't exercise at all. But in terms of reversing your diabetes, no, you don't have to exercise. Okay. All it takes is a dietary change of no more carbs and sugar. Well, total carbs, 20 or less grams a day. Okay. So if you want to eat some vegetables, you can have that room. They count, the carbs in their count. Don't let people tell you that if it's a vegetable, the carbs in it don't count. They very much do count, guys. And fasting. Those are the two things that you have to do if you want to get rid of your type 2 diabetes. Okay. Well, guys, this video is already super long, I'm sure. I didn't go into the whole reasonings of the fasting as far as, well, in-depth detail, because I know that this video is already long enough. Um, I want to make sure I've answered all the questions that I've seen in the emails. But guys, I wanted to make this video because I can't reply to each individual email that I'm getting or message detailing how I've reversed my diabetes. I want to help people, but I make these videos so that y'all can come watch the videos. And so I'm not having to individually talk to everybody and tell them the steps individually over and over and over again. So guys, again, I know I asked for this earlier, but just a reminder, please be sure to share this video with all you know who could use this video. If they're a diabetic and they would love to know how to reverse their diabetes and return to health, this is their roadmap. This is their way back home to good health. And for a more clear idea of what I ate when I was keto, and for about what I eat as a carnivore, why don't you try out this video right here? It's my top foods for when I was keto and as a carnivore. All right, my friends, thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.